Number 9, the County Hall of Fame, Senate Bills number 9 of 2021, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to establish a county hall of fame in each county as a venue through which the county government shall bestow honor on individuals within their respective counties acclaimed as being outstanding, exceptional, or illustrious in any profession or activity. Provide a framework for the preservation of the history, heritage, and culture of counties, and for connected purposes. Order number 10, the Office of County Printer Bill, Senate Bills number 13 of 2021, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to establish the Office of County Printer in each county to provide for the functions, mandate, management, and administration of the office, and for connected purposes. Order number 11, the Disaster Risk Management Bill, Senate Bills number 14 of 2021, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to establish the National Disaster Management Authority and County Disaster Risk Management Committees to provide a legal framework for the coordination of disaster risk management activities and for connected purposes. Order number 12, the Law of Succession Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 15 of 2021, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Law of Succession Act and for connected purposes.
What's your point of order?
Oh, yeah. Mr. Speaker, I raised a point of order earlier to you, and I didn't hear your response to it with reference to the court order that was served to your office, because it will be important for this House to know whether you received it or you did not, and whether when you received it, it's also important just for record purposes to know the reasons why you have chosen to disregard a valid court order, Mr. Speaker.
I have not received the court order so far. What I'm saying is what I used is the information from the legal team, which arrived at that decision to give the information that was required under Article 56. That's what I've said, 556A. So far I've not seen it yet. What's your point of order? Okay, relog in.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't think it is it on. Sasa inafanya. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, sorry. I don't know how we are even going to have this session, Mr. Speaker, sir, because we even saw others online who cannot seem to get through. But anyway, a big point of concern, which I think should be addressed before we proceed, is that Senator Mwaura had a pre-existing court order that was before today that had been served to your office. But I believe we are bringing in a copy here in the next few minutes. So I would ask that we don't proceed until the issue is determined.
What's your point of order?
Point of order.
Just a minute. There's a point of order from Pareno. Yes, Senator Pareno.
Mr. Speaker, it is unfortunate that we have to discuss probably what has happened to Senator Mwaura. But I was just wondering, Mr. Speaker, whether, because I heard you make a communication and you made a ruling, whether whether Senator Kihika is in order to be asking for another ruling on that when you've already made your ruling. Of course, not saying that we are not concerned with what has happened to Senator Mwaura, but the orders of this House must also be observed.
Just a minute. My system order. Okay, what's your point of order, Senator?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me first to declare my interest in this issue. Senator Mwaura happens to be my best man in my wedding, and therefore it goes without saying I need to be heard on this issue. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm interested in maybe you give us guidance on how you came up into that communication, taking into account that there is an existing court order. There are several steps that have to predicate your decision before you render that decision. Mr. Speaker, sir, I expect maybe you consider tabling before us the correspondence from IEBC, Mr. Speaker, sir, the correspondence from the tribunal, Mr. Speaker, sir, also an explanation as to why a valid court order has been disregarded by the political party, by IBC, by Senate, to my personal friend. He is no longer a member of the Honorable Senate. And to me, if we allow your communication to stand, Mr. Speaker, sir, we shall be sending a very dangerous precedent in this House, Mr. Speaker, sir. It will be you, Honorable Senator, next time. It will be me next time, where the executive is using its power to deny and to de-whip and to denominate our fellow colleague. I urge Honorable Senators, please, let us rise and stamp the authority on behalf of Senator Mwaura. It is now he needs us. It is you next time you'll be in the same predicament, notwithstanding our political differences. Please, Honorable Senators, let us stand for our colleague. Thank you.
Senator Murkomen. Working. Just a minute, the system is... I was calling Senator Murkomen, not you. Okay. Virtual. Unmute yourself.
Mr. Speaker, I'm unmuted.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as a matter of fact, I've been raising this point of order for some time now. First of all, the issue of Senator Mwaura, Mr. Speaker, it will be unfortunate if you are going to disregard an existing court order that is from the High Court, that, Mr. Speaker, was provided by the High Court to preserve the rights of Honorable Mwaura, and the order exists up to 20th of May, Mr. Speaker. Number two, Mr. Speaker, I would expect that you would handle differently a matter that involves removal of a fellow senator. Mr. Speaker, why would you be so much in a hurry without the proper decision of the courts to remove someone, Mr. Speaker, who has been elected? And let's stop these stories of nominated senators. There's no difference between those who are elected through party list and those who are elected by votes like ourselves. The Constitution treats all of us equally. Mr. Speaker, why would you want to be in such a hurry to degazette a colleague when, Mr. Speaker, a legal process is ongoing? When a similar process in the National Assembly of through the whole process up to now, the Court of Appeal. Mr. Speaker, I really beg you, there would be other grounds of expediting processes like our removal, which happened this day or 1 year ago, and we are still waiting your ruling. But Mr. Speaker, when it comes to complete removal of a member from Parliament, not positions from Parliament, Mr. Speaker, you should have acted in such a hurry, especially you are acting against an existing order of High Court, Mr. Speaker, that is in place up to 20th of May. I believe you should, the staff, Mr. Speaker, the clerks and your office should have given you a different advice. I can see you are extending that blame to somebody else, but the decision is yours. And Mr. Speaker, before taking that decision, you should have spent time to consult, Mr. Speaker, the relevant documentation. It will be sad if, as a Senate, you become the first speaker under the new constitution to violate the constitution by removing a colleague. I urge you, Mr. Speaker, to reconsider that stand.
Wait, is there going on?
Senator Professor Kindiki.
Mr. Speaker, sir, with tremendous respect, I request you to make your own decision, and there is nothing inferior or nothing untoward if you considered or reconsidered your own decision, Mr. Speaker. In the matter of Senator Isaac Mwaura, Mr. Speaker, this is the first time in the history of Kenya when a member of the House has lost office through this process. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I know arguments have been made about the court order. I concur with those arguments, except to say that this is the only area where I concur with courts injuncting Parliament, because I've already made my positions clear on injunctions and the two arms of government, the legislature and the executive. I have always argued, Mr. Speaker, in the past, in the present, and in the future, that the judiciary cannot inject Parliament in its legislative role. But in quasi-judicial or administrative roles, injunctions are quite legal. So, Mr. Speaker, if there is a court order, it needs to be complied with. Number two, Mr. Speaker, I see no hurry in chasing you away a colleague, because you are the Speaker of this House. So Senator Mwaura is our colleague, is your colleague. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to go on record that this is a travesty of justice, whatever decision you take. And I hope the people of Kenya are taking notice of how we are observing the constitution that they passed. And if we are disregarding this constitution, nothing will prevent us from even undermining the amendments that we are considering this afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg you respectfully to reconsider your decision.
Senator Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. And it is sad that we have to discuss about our colleague. Mr. Speaker, as you have discretion at any point in time to reconsider and look at your decision, because I'm aware Senator Mwaura had showed me a court order, a pre-existing court order, that was to up to 20th May, Mr. Speaker, and we would have expected that since, Mr. Speaker, you know you are our father, you are supposed to protect all of us. You are our last line of defense, and we expect when anything comes before you, especially on your colleague senator, and being our leader in this House, to take a lot of time to console, to relook, And Mr. Speaker, the advantage that was existing was you already have a court order in place. And you being a seasoned administrator, being a leader, you should have relooked at those issues that exist on the table, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, if we allow this to slide, it is a threat to democracy, where when you don't agree or disagree with the opinion of your party or anybody else that has the power to remove you, they just remove you the way they wish, Mr. Speaker. And my worry goes to our colleagues who also are nominated, because they will be hanging by the thread, because they'll just be threatened. They will now need to donate their brains and their minds to somebody else, so that they don't need to make decisions that they can run afoul against the owners of party or individuals that, and I think as a threat, and it is good the fighters of second liberation and democracy like Senator James Orengo is in this house, that, Mr. Speaker, we must be careful. I beseech you and I beg of you, Senator Isaac Mwaura is one of us. Finally, Mr. Speaker, what I ask you to consider and look at your decision. Today we are considering the constitutional amendment bill. This bill, we are told, they are supposed to address issues of marginalization, the disability, the underprivileged in the society. Mr. Speaker, sir, Senator Isaac Mwaura was nominated as a special interest group through the part of disability. If we undermine what we are supposed to be considering as part of all inclusivity, people like Isaac Mwaura was representing a special section of this society, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, if we are the ones who will now be undermining that aspect of special interest group, Mr. Speaker, then it is very unfortunate. So I think this issue, Mr. Speaker, is not only about Jubilee or majority or minority side. I think as a house, we need to stand with one of us. Just the way we stood when Senator Mithika Linturi was arrested, Senator Langat, Senator Lilegwe, and many others. The house was suspended until the matter was heard. And Mr. Speaker, we want to congratulate you then, because you always stood on our best interest as a house. So, Mr. Speaker, as our father, as a seasoned administrator, and as our leader, as our line of last defense, Mr. Speaker, I think this matter is so serious, is so very important that you need to reconsider and relook at your decision, so that, Mr. Speaker, we are aware after you have communicated somebody mischievous in the IEBC can go ahead and gazette Isaac Mwaura and even gazette somebody else, because they will be using the strength of your decision. And you know this house has the powers of quasi-judicial of a high court, where you have pronounced yourself, it can be used. So, Mr. Speaker, we beseech and beg of you that this is very important. It is one of us. We look up to you to provide appropriate guidance and ensure that justice is served and it is not travesty of justice. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Orengo.
Mr. Speaker, this matter is very unfortunate, and I think we got ourselves to blame. I want to be very forthright to the members here. I've always pleaded that this House has to comply with the court orders. And I raised this issue when we had a court order in the matter concerning the impeachment of the governor for Taita Taveta. And the House declined to obey that court order. And court orders are court orders. You cannot choose which one to obey or not. You cannot begin to now argue that this is legislative, this is what. In accordance with Article 10, a court order is a court order. And I still believe that if you want to become a nation governed by laws, then the first principle is to obey court orders. And we have not been faithful to this fundamental requirement of the law. Even this Wajir case, we have got a court order. And we said Parliament cannot be injuncted. I don't believe Parliament cannot be injuncted. Parliaments are injuncted worldwide. Even the House of Representatives, the Senate in the United States, there are a lot of court orders that are issued against parliaments. In the European Court, in the Supreme Court of England, there were proceedings challenging active proceedings in the House of Commons, in the House of Lords and the House of Commons. It was presided over by a very honored Lady Chief Justice. and the orders, Parliament was injected, and the issue remained there until the appeal process was completed. So what I'm pleading with you, you cannot choose, you cannot elect and choose which orders to obey and which one not to obey. Right now, we got orders against the National Assembly, and the National Assembly is complying with those orders in the matter which is in the Court of Appeal. But we are on record here saying, you know, court orders mean nothing. I think it's a very unfortunate state of affairs. Not even during the Kanu rule would somebody say that you cannot obey court orders. That is number one. I think you've got to blame yourselves. You have said on record, in fact, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker, I was writing some article based on the two decisions which are here. And you remember Speaker Kindike made what was called a landmark ruling, where he said we cannot obey court orders. And that is on record. That is on record. And I believe on questions of human rights, they are so fundamental, they are so central to our system of constitutionalism, that whenever there's an allegation, even a threat to a violation of fundamental rights, the courts can intervene. I remember in South Africa where the parliament in South Africa was trying through committee a member of the minority party, which was the Nationalist Party, the Democratic Party, and parliamentarians say, no, you can disregard court orders. We want to kick that member of parliament out. But the High Court sitting in Cape Town intervened, and Parliament was injuncted. So what I want to say, Mr. Speaker, we got to be consistent. We should settle this question, whether court orders matter or they don't. That question we have not settled. So when it pleases us, we say there's a court order. When it doesn't please us, they say court orders can go to hell. We have to be consistent. Number two, Mr. Speaker, we have now two sets of documents. A letter from the lawyer purportedly serving your office with a court order. And that letter is dated today. And there's another letter dated, I think, 10th of March. I can't read it properly. Now, all these papers should be placed before you. And I have a lot of sympathy for Senator Mwaura. I can even go and intervene for him in court, just like I intervened in the case of Senator Wetangula when he was being removed maliciously. And in fact, that one he was being removed by an order of the court. And we argued and said that the court order was not good enough for his removal. And I think Senator Wetangula would confirm that. And even this time, I am ready and prepared. Last week I made a speech here and say, you got a right to protect me and I also have to protect you. So this is one of our own. We should find a better way of protecting him. Now, Mr. Speaker, the only problem that you have now is that there's a Gazette notice. And Senator Wako will tell you, in law they would say you're a functus officio. The law does not allow you to recall your decision in matters like this when it is already gazetted. But I think I know how this decision can be recalled, not by you. No, because it's a functus officio. Yeah, he can't. That's a fundamental principle of law. Once you have made a decision, and I think Professor Kindiki knows that in this circumstance, you're a functus officio. You cannot pretend to be doing anything. You'll be in a lot of trouble, even you, if you are to revise this decision, which you have already made and is gazetted. So what I will plead with, and I had a little discussion with Senator Mwaura outside. Let me be open. And I told him exactly what should be done. But pleading here with you, I think is lamentation. in these kind of circumstances. I think you better get all the papers, see when you are served. Was it before this Gazette notice? And the order of stay, what does it say? Is it staying your decision? Or what is it staying? So we need to get all these details for you to make a decision. But I plead that we should sit together, because Mwaura is one of our own, to find a way to help. But we are not going to help by pleading with you when the thing is already in the Gazette notice. Not even the President of the Republic of Kenya can do that, by the way. Once he gazettes something under an instrument of the law, it is over. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wetangula.
Can you? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I want to join my colleagues who have extended a heart of sympathy to Senator Mwaura, who is fallen victim of the implosion in his party. Mr. Speaker, Senator Orengo has put it very well. When I was maliciously pursued to the extent where the Supreme Court directed that my name be struck off the voters' roll and directed IBC to effect the order. First, my case is slightly different. Nothing was gazetted. But we went to the IBC. They formed a tribunal chaired by lawyer Letangule, Mrs. Mahiri Shaja, and there's the gentleman from the coast. What is his name, Faki? Alawi. And they made a decision that was probably more sound than decisions we get from the High Court. And they protected my rights. My rights, having won openly and convincingly in an election, to be taken away by some malicious pursuit. And Mr. Speaker, in this particular case, I share the same views with Senator Orengo. One, you've made a communication from the chair, which you say you have been advised by Senate lawyers, and you have quoted a Gazette notice. Mr. Speaker, I can tell you that in law, if you try to reverse your decision, you'll be in serious trouble. Serious trouble. And I don't think you have made that communication either maliciously or ignorantly, because you have quoted the Gazette notice. What I want to advise Senator Cheriot, my good friend, Senator Murkomen, who can give pro bono services to Senator Mwaura, my distinguished colleague Kindiki, a fine lawyer in his own right, who traces his roots in law, partly from me, Mr. Speaker, that the best you can and should do is, one, look at the Constitution. It says you cannot be disenfranchised until you have exhausted all the machinery and the steps of appeal. I don't know if Senator Mwaura has exhausted that. Number two is to go to court and fight ferociously. And some of us who stand for rights of others are available, if we are requested, to lend a hand and our brain to expunge and annul the Gazette notice. Because neither the government printer, nor the Speaker of this House, nor any person other than the High Court can expunge that Gazette notice and go back to the status quo ante then Senator Mwaura's position will be saved. So we can debate here, Mr. Speaker, for the next 1 hour and say a lot of things with very colorful language, quote the law, quote Shakespeare, quote Greeks, quote everybody. But, Mr. Speaker, eventually, it is a matter of application of the law. And I agree with Senator Orengo that we need finally to agree as a House. Do court orders matter or not? Senator Cheriot, you avoided to mention that it's me who said here last week that this House has benefited immensely from court processes. It is me who said that, and I dare say that our advice or opinion and our several forays in court is what has given dignity, standing, presence, and respect to this House. Otherwise, we would have been overrun. We have enemies from every direction, but courts have been our first and last line of defense. Thank you.
Okay, honorable senators, I've listened. I have heard. The only thing I can promise, one, or confirm, is that at the time I sat here, I had not seen any court order. Because you remember we came here at 10. Number two, on Tuesday, I will avail all the documents that led to that decision. Because there are also other pending petitions, you know, in my office where action has not been taken, and there must be a reason why action has also not been taken. So on Tuesday, I promise to show you all the documentation that I have that led to that process. Next order.
Order number 13, the Prompt Payment Bill, Senate Bills number 16 of 2021. First reading. A bill for an act of parliament to provide for prompt payment for the supply of goods, works or services, and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 14, Committee of the Whole, the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020.
Honorable Senators, kindly take your seats.
Shionga, will you come back again for yes? Will you come again for yes?
Honorable Senators, kindly take your seats. The volume is not. Honorable Senators, kindly take your seats. Take your seats. We are now in the Committee of the Whole to consider the constitutional amendment, the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020. Kindly take your seats. Honorable Senators, order.
clauses 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and clause 10.
I propose the question that clauses 2 to 10 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 2 to 10 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clauses 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and clause 20.
I propose the question that clauses 11 to 20 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 11 to 20 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clauses 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and clause 30.
I propose the question that clauses 21 to 30 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 20 to 30 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Honorable Senators, kindly, if you need to communicate, kindly do it in Senator Malala and Senator Kajwang. We need some order, please. Next order.
Clauses 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and clause 40.
I propose the question that clauses 31 to 40 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 31 to 40 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clauses 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and clause 50.
I propose the question that clauses 41 to 50 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 41 to 50 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clauses 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and clause 60.
I propose the question that clauses 51 to 60 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 51 to 60 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clauses 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and clause 70.
I propose the question that clauses 61 to 70 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 61 to 70 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clauses 71, 72, 73, and clause 74.
I propose the question that clauses 71 to 74 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 71 to 74 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
The first schedule.
I propose the question that the first schedule be part of the bill. I put the question that the first schedule be part of the bill. Division at the end.
The second schedule.
I propose the question that the second schedule be part of the bill. I put the question that the second schedule be part of the bill. Division at the end.
The title and clause 1.
I propose the question that the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Honorable Senators, we are at the end of the clauses. I would advise that the bell be rung for, the division bell be rung for 2 minutes. Is that okay? Honorable Senators, kindly take your seats. Honorable Senators, as the Speaker had ruled in the morning that there will be no amendments, so we proceed directly to put the question. Is that okay? I put the question that clauses 2 to 74, the first schedule, the second schedule, the title, clause 1 be part of the bill. Division.
Senator Adan Duro Fatuma. All as once. You can clarify.
Pardon? Can I put the question again? Let me put the question, and the voting is yes or no, and it is 1, yes. No, we are going to do 2. Then, yeah. Honorable Senators, you vote once, and I want to put the question again. I put the question that clauses 2 to 74, the first schedule, the second schedule, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. Division.
Senator Adan Duro Fatuma.
I vote yes.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim. Senator Boy Isa Juma.
I vote yes.
Senator Jabeni Masi. Senator Cherarkei Samson.
Madam Chair, I vote no.
Senator Cheriot Aaron Kipkuru.
Kericho County votes no.
Senator Gona Christine Zawadi.
I vote yes.
Senator Haji Abdulkadir Mohammed. Senator Haji Abdulkadir Mohammed. He's muted.
Honorable Senator, please unmute. You have muted your...
I have unmuted.
Okay, now you can vote.
I think. Okay, Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Haji Faria Ali.
I vote yes.
Senator Halake Abushiro Soka. Senator Harigura Godana.
Yeah, I vote yes.
Senator Iman Farihada Deko.
Madam Chair, I vote no.
Senator Imana Marakai Charles Ekal. Senator Inima Gertrude Musurove.
Senator Musuruve votes yes.
Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno.
I vote yes.
Senator Kamar Margaret Chepkoech.
I vote yes.
Senator Kangata Irungu.
Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, Moranga should have gotten 3 new constituencies, so I vote no.
Senator Kasanga Sylvia Mweni.
Senator Hamid George.
Madam Chair, can I be heard? Can you? Okay. For and on behalf of the people of Vihiga, I vote yes.
Senator Kibiri Charles. Sir Charles votes yes. Senator Keita Susan. Senator Kibiri Charles. Yes. Senator Charles Kibiri votes yes. Senator Keita Susan. Senator Kilonzo Mutura. Yes.
Senator Kimani wa Matangi.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kindiki Kithure.
I vote no. No, Mr. Speaker. Mr.
Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi Maina.
I vote yes.
Senator Langat Christopher Andrew. Senator Lelewel Tumbesi.
I vote no.
Senator Linturi Mithika.
Mr. Chairman, I vote no.
Senator Loitip Annual. Senator Locorio Petronira Were. Senator Mazayo Stewart Mwashiru.
I vote yes.
Senator Mahmoud Mohamed Maalim.
I vote yes.
Senator Makori Beatrice Kwamboka.
I know you. I know you.
Senator Makori Beatrice Kwamboka.
I vote yes.
Senator Marala Kilofas Wakungu.
I vote yes.
Senator Masisa Naomi Shiyonga.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Mbito Michael Malinga.
Vote yes.
Senator Mbogo George Ochiro Ayako.
I vote yes.
Yes, Senator, we've heard you. We have heard you. Yes, yes, that's fine.
Senator Milgo Alice Chepkorir.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Mugeni Eric Okongo.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Yes, we have heard you.
Senator Moi Gideon. Senator Mpayei Philip Salau.
Vote yes.
Senator Mugo Beth Wamboi. Senator Murkomen Kipchumba.
Madam Chair, I vote no.
Senator Mudhama Agnes.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Mwangi Paul Githiomi.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Mwaruma Jonas Mwasushe.
Votes yes.
Senator Munyihaji Mohamed Faki.
I vote yes.
Senator Nderitu John Kinywa.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru. Senator Nyamunga Rose.
I vote yes.
Senator Olekina Ledama.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Olekina, kindly vote again. We did not capture you. Kindly vote.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Manga Millicent.
Napiga la.
Senator Ongeri Samson.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Orengo James.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Areno Judith.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Bogisho Samuel.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Pringei Victor.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Sakaja Johnson.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Mary Yane.
Madam Chair, I abstain.
Senator Wapo Enos.
I vote yes.
Senator Wambua Enoch.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Senator Wako Naomi Jilo. Senator Wario Wolich Juma. Senator Wetangula Moses.
Madam Chair, I vote yes on my behalf, on behalf of Ford Kenya and the people of Bungoma.
Senator Zani Agnes.
I vote yes.
Yes. Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim. Senator Imana Malakai Charles Ekal. Senator Kihika Susan.
Madam Chair, I vote no.
Senator Loitip Anwar. Senator Locorio Petronira Were.
I vote yes.
Senator Moi Gideon.
I vote yes.
Yes, Senator, we have heard you. We have heard you.
Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru.
You know what I did? I was giving you.
Senator Wako Naomi Jiro.
I vote yes.
Senator Wario Wolich Juma. Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru.
Hello. Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Thank you, Senator. We've heard you. We've heard you. It's okay.
Senator Loitip Anwar. Senator Wario Wolich Juma.
Honorable Senators, here the results are as follows: ayes 51, nays 11, abstention 0. The ayes have it. Mover, please.
One abstention.
Abstention is 1. Yes. So mover, please.
Mover.
So I'll go and report.
Wait.
Then I put.
Mover.
I report this one.
Do report to the Senate its consideration of the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 and its approval thereof without amendment.
Honorable Senators, let's have some order. Let's have some order, please. I put the question that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 and its approval thereof without amendments. As many as are of the opinion say nay, aye. And those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Honorable Senators, order. Honorable Senators, we are now have resumed the House for reporting. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 and its approval thereof without amendments.
Mover.
The Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report and ask Senate Minority Leader to second.
Minority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I beg to second.
Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable Senators, I now put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary say nay? The ayes have it. What's your point of order, Senator Jerarge?
Mr. Speaker, out of curiosity, Madam Speaker, out of curiosity is that there are people who are voting virtually. How will we know how they are voting? I think in future we need, and most of our supporters who are opposing the report are virtual. So, and they are online. So, Mr. Speaker, in future, I don't know how we will work with the standing orders, since we are voting virtually, and when you have, so the vote, we doubt the validity of the vote, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker, with all due respect.
Senator Jerarge, that did not sound like a point of order. It is not, because we are a hybrid system and we have seen everybody who has voted, and there are procedures on how to vote virtually is okay. Anything else we can discuss later. Honorable Senators, next order.
Order number 15, the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020, third reading.
Honorable Senators, we are going to again go into a roll call vote. The mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg that the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 be now read a third time, and ask Senate Minority Leader to second.
Senate Minority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I beg to second that the bill be read a third time.
Thank you, Senators. Honorable Senators, I will now propose the question that the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 be now read a third time. Honorable Senators, I will now put the question. Order, Senators, can you consult in low tone so that we can proceed? Honorable Senators, I now put the question that the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 be now read a third time. We will do roll call voting. Then, can we ring a bell for 2 minutes while the tellers come forward, please? I now refresh the question again. I put a question that the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 be now read a third time, and we'll do roll call voting.
Senator Adan Duro Fatuma.
I vote yes.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim. Senator Boy Isa Juma.
I vote yes.
Senator Chebeni Masi. Senator Chebeni Masi.
Senator Jebeli, please vote. We can see you vote. You are muted.
Madam Chair, I vote yes.
Thank you.
Senator Cherarke Samson.
Social distance kidogo. I, Cherargei Kiprotich Samson, on behalf of the beloved people of Nandi County, and in the spirit of Koitalelarab Samoe and Jean Marie Soronei, I vote no to this deception.
Senator Cheruiyot Aaron.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of Kericho, we say no to this attempt at mutilation of our constitution.
Senator Gona Christine Zawadi.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Haji Abdikadir Mohammed.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Haji Faria Ali.
I vote yes.
Senator Alake Abishiro Soka.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Harigura Godana.
I vote yes.
Senator Iman Falhada Deko.
I vote no.
Senator Imana Malakai Charles Ekal. Senator Inima Gertrude Musuruve.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of PWDs in this nation, I vote yes.
Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of Homa Bay County, I vote yes.
Senator Kamar Margaret.
I vote yes.
Senator Kangata Irundu.
Yes, Madam Speaker, taxes will be increased to support a double-decker parliament. 20 billion extra Kenya shillings will be needed to support new institutions which are being created by BBI, and therefore I vote no, because Murang'a businesses will be overtaxed.
Senator Kasanga Sylvia.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Vote?
Yes.
Have you voted? Vote. Can we hear your voice? She has said yes. Honorable Senators, please be quiet so that we can hear people online. She has... Honorable Senators, Senator Kasanga, please vote.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you. Honorable Senators, please take your seats so that we can hear those online. Thank you.
Senator Hanir George.
Madam Speaker, for and on behalf of the great people of Vihiga, I vote yes.
Senator Kibiru Charles.
Can I also vote for Merus? Kirinyaga votes yes.
Senator Kihika Susan.
Madam Speaker, I vote no.
Senator Kilonzo Mutula Jr.
Makwene County votes yes.
Senator Kimani Wamatangi.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kindiki Kithure.
Madam Speaker, certainly I vote no.
Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi Maina.
I vote yes. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Senator Langat Christopher Andrew. Senator Lelewel Tumbesi.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of Samburu, who will lose 1.3 billion when this bill passes, I vote no.
Senator Linturi Mithika. And definitely no. Senator Loitip Anwar. Senator Locorio Petronira Were.
Is Loitip online?
On behalf of the women of Kenya, the people of Busia County, and the people of Baringo County, I vote yes.
Senator Masayo Stewart.
I vote yes.
Senator Mahmoud Mohamed Maalim.
I vote yes.
Senator Makori Beatrice Kwamboka.
Senator Kwamboka, you are on mute. Senator Kwamboka, unmute. Unmute. Senator Kwamboka, we cannot hear you. Please unmute.
I have unmuted.
Bas, now we can hear you.
On behalf of ODM, the women of Kenya, and the Nairobi women, I proudly vote yes.
Thank you.
Senator Malala Cleophas Wakungu. I vote yes. Senator Masisa Naomi Shiyonga.
Come and sanitize this thing. Well, I want to sanitize.
Let's continue while we wait for sanitizer. Okay.
Madam Speaker, for the benefit of women in this Republic of Kenya, for this constitution, and on my behalf, I want to say that I vote yes and support Baba and His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. Thank you.
Senator Mbito Michael Malinga. Senator Mbogo George Ochire Ayako.
Senator Ayako, please unmute. We can't hear you. Senator, please unmute. We cannot hear you. Please unmute. Unmute. Senator, you are still on mute. Please unmute. We can't hear you. Senators, please take your seats and Senator Ochilo, we cannot hear you. Please unmute. Okay, let's move on.
Senator Mulgo Alice.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the great people of Bomet County, Kening Mani and 2 new extra constituencies, I vote a big yes to BPI.
Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of Nyamira, I vote yes.
Senator Moi Gideon.
Senator Moi Gideon.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you.
Senator Mpayei Philip Salau.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mugo Beth Wamboi.
Thank you.
Senator Murkomen Kipchumba.
Madam Speaker, for the 3rd time, and in the best interest of our great republic, and for posterity, and for history to remember us,
we are not able to see
I
you.
vote a big. Madam Speaker, can you hear me?
Yes, but we want to see your face. Yes, thank you.
As I said, Madam Speaker, on behalf, for the 3rd time, and on behalf of the people of Kenya, and for posterity, for the good of the nation, and for history to remember us, Madam Speaker, I vote a big no.
Thank you. Next.
Senator Mudama Agnes.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of Machakos, we have received 3 constituencies and we cannot afford to lose them, and many other benefits. I vote yes.
Senator Mwangi Paul Vidyomi.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Honorable Senators, please, your consultations must be low enough for those online to be heard. Please.
Senator Ngaruma Jonas Masushe.
Madam Speaker, Taita Taveta votes yes.
Thank you.
Senator Munyihaji Mohamed Faki.
Where is Mombasa?
Mombasa votes yes.
Yes, now we can see you. Thank you.
Senator Nderitu John Kinywa.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you. Next.
Senator Nduga Peter Njeru. Senator Nyamunga Rose.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of Kisumu, I vote yes.
Senator Olekina Ledama.
Madam Speaker, once again, this being a bill by popular initiative, I'm confident that the vote of consciousness lies not with me, but with the registered voters who shall have their say in the referendum. I exercise my duty on behalf of the County of Narok by passing this bill to the voters, and thus I vote yes.
So what
Senator Ledama, we have not had your vote.
Madam Speaker, once again, I
yeah.
say this is not a conscious vote, but rather a vote which consequences lies not with this House, but
Don't
the people of
repeat everything.
Kenya.
We have had everything
So I'm
except the vote.
my right, and I'm voting yes to pass this bill to them, for them to determine their future in the referendum. So I vote yes.
Yes, voted yes.
Senator Omanga Millicent.
Kwa niaba ya walalahoi, kwa niaba ya wanyonge na mahasla wa Kenya hii, napiga la na single mothers.
Senator Ongeri Samson.
Members, order members. Order, Senator Gerard Gay, please. Can we consult in low tones so that we can complete?
Senator Ongeri Samson.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Orengo James.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Pareno Judith.
For the sake of Kajiado County, the women, my party ODM that believes in devolution, peace and prosperity of this country, I vote yes.
Senator Provincial Samuel.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of West Pokot, I vote yes.
Senator Pringay Victor.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Sakaja Johnson.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the 4.3 million residents of Nairobi County who deserve adequate representation, hence the 12 more constituencies. On behalf of the urban poor who deserve more resources, hence 40 billion for Nairobi, I vote yes.
Senator Mary Giane. Senator Wako Amos.
Senator Mary, we can't see her. She's there. Senator Mary, please come online. Yes, please. All the members,
Madam Speaker, I choose to abstain.
Thank you. Next.
Senator Wako Amos.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wambua Enoch.
Madam Speaker, because a decision has been made that the final decision on the fate of this bill lies with the people of Kenya. So to facilitate a smooth passage of this bill to the final decision makers, Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wako Naomi Jiro.
I vote yes.
Senator Wario Golich Juma. Senator Wetangula Moses.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of myself, for Kenya Party and One Kenya Alliance, I vote yes.
Senator Zani Agnes.
I vote yes.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim.
Yes. Yes.
Senator Ali, you seem to be muted.
No,
Please
I'm not
unmute.
muted, Madam. I don't know what's happening, but mine is yes. Why?
Senator Imana Malakai Charles Ekal.
Senator Imana, we have not seen you.
It's not there.
Senator Imana and Senator Ochilo Ayako, please come back online.
Senator Loitip Anwar. Senator Mbogo George Ochiro Ayako.
Madam Speaker, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Madam Speaker, I, Dr. Mbogo George Ochilo Ayako of Migori County, self and of Kenyans. Madam Speaker, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Have you heard me, Madam Speaker?
Senator, just vote. We are here. You are clearer.
Madam Speaker, point of order. Ayako of Migori County.
Senator Ayako, can you vote, please?
Madam Speaker, are you able to hear me?
Yes. Can you vote? Senator Ayako, vote.
Hear me?
Yes.
Vote yes, Madam Speaker, on behalf of.
Thank you. Imana, if you are online, please come forward.
Don't do narrative, just vote.
Imana and Anwar.
Madam Speaker.
Is that Anwar?
This is Senator Wario.
Wario, we took your vote. We had you. Thank you. It's Senator
Okay,
Imana
you.
we are looking for if you are in the same room.
Madam Speaker, hope you heard me.
Martin.
Senator Anwar, last chance. No, then Senator Imana, last chance. I think we just proceed. Honorable Senators, we now have the results of the vote, and I request that the two members please take seats as we we announce the results of the vote, how you have voted for BBI. Honorable Senators, the ayes 51, the nays 12, abstention 1. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act to amend the Constitution by popular initiative.
Thank you. I see a point of order from Senator Ongeri.
Speaker, I just wanted to comment that we've done this voting in solidarity with what we think the BBI is putting on the table. And I just plead at this stage, Madam Speaker, that we have made some very relevant comments, particularly in my area where we brought out one of the most deserving constituencies that needs to be split into two, that's Bobat's constituency. And I plead that when this goes to the second stage, third or fourth stage, that may be considered as an appropriate, because it's a very large population and they will largely benefit, and they will hugely benefit from this split. And it will be a good thing to do, because both in terms of statistics, Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, in terms of proposal, that was captured, and we'll be very happy to see that captured in the forward. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Last point of order is from Senator Mogeni. Did I see something, Senator Mogeni? Yes.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I just wanted to give some words of comfort to my good friend, Senator Professor Sam Ongeri, that once we have enacted this bill, it will go as it is, but maybe in future, in another 10 years, when we review the constituencies, maybe we can think of Kisii. But this one now is cast in stone, Prof. It will go as it is. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Orengo.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank the House for passing this bill and say that there are a lot of people who have very simple minds and they do not understand sometimes these processes. And it should be noted that the recommendations of the committee, the joint committee of the National Assembly and the Senate, in which I sat, and which Senator Omugeni, senior counsel, presided over together with Honorable Muturi Kigano. I think this report that accompanied the bill would be a historic document. And Madam Speaker, I'm saying this because there are a lot of people there who don't understand what you are saying. There are people who are saying that the role of Parliament is simply ceremonial. I want to repeat here that if the role of Parliament was ceremonial, we would not have taken time and go through 3 divisions and 3 voice votes. And I know in the annals of history, the debates that have taken place in this Senate will be a very important historical document. Indeed, I am hoping that in the records of this Parliament, we should not just have it in the Hansard. I think there should be a report on of the Hansard on this debate. This debate, Senator Zawadi, you will be surprised that 20 years from now, when some of us will not be alive, your speech in this debate may be used in order to try and determine, because we are the makers of this document, unlike some people think, what prompted us to pass this bill. So our work has not been in vain, and the debates here have not been in vain. And I know in the history of this Parliament, and Madam Speaker, I remember reading a report, just a report on the contribution of the Kenya People's Union during a period of time. There was a special report given at that time by the National Assembly and printed by the government printer, the contribution of the Kenya People's Union in the debates in Parliament at that time. So the work we have done here is not in vain at all, and I want to commend every member that spoke on this bill. And finally, I think it should be remembered, for those who have misunderstood us out there, that the recommendation of the committee, Madam Speaker, you know, there's a very noisy part of this House.
Senators, please console in low tones so other members can be heard.
Yeah, all the time, you know, really. And Madam Speaker, you know, these days we are very lucky. There are no people in the gallery, but there was a time when, you know, there will be a lot of Kenyans looking at how their members make the law. And sometimes what we see here is very dispiriting, because we are carrying out a very important duty. And remember, we stopped debating when one of us was arrested, because it was an important debate for which we wanted to participate. I just wanted to emphasize that the committee had recommended that the bill should be passed as it is. And the committee had made some observations, and those observations were part of the debate. So I am hoping that after passing this bill, we have to live with it. It will be part of our history, of our contribution to this country, and the courts will try to determine what we meant and what we wanted to do through this enactment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Kavindu Mudama.
Madam Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. I just want to say that we have passed this bill, and I'm grateful that Machakos has had 3 constituencies. But there is one area, which is Masinga, which is very sparse. I'm just praying that next time they'll be considered and given some constituencies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Wetangula Moses.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to join in congratulating this House in totality for the mature debate and the vote that we have registered this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, in the history of this House, no bill has been debated as vigorously and extensively and deeply as the bill we have passed this afternoon. Every single member desired to speak, and those who didn't speak probably are less than 10. And all that spoke were constructive. Even those that did not support the bill, like my distinguished colleague from Kericho, were very eloquent in their treatise. Senator Milo Manga is also gesturing at me to acknowledge her contribution. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, and I want to say that she made very, very positive contributions. After passing this bill, Madam Speaker, there is no longer those who opposed and those who supported. It is a bill that has been passed by the House of Senate.
Thank you.
We carry everybody on board. We may not have gotten everything we wanted, but the Constitution is a living document. It's dynamic in its own nature, and there will always be another time to bring on board what was left behind or to correct what we think was excessive this time round. Let's move together as one. And I want to encourage my colleagues Cherargei, Aaron Cheriot, Murkomen, and everybody that as we go out now to the referendum, that let's move as one. Let's unite the country and let's be each other's keeper. That is the only way Kenya will move forward. And even those who gloat in marginalizing others, when they realize that even those that are marginalizing are united with everybody, we will be able to reform each other and look at this country together.
I was using my discretion for 2 minutes, so please let's not go because I'm the only timekeeper. I'm the only timekeeper on this one. Senator Gerard Gay, I'll come to you, but if you can promise me 1 minute, yeah, I'll come to you. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this discretion.
The last.
From the outset is I want to tell Kenyans, as this issue moves to referendum, that if at all the constitution is going to be amended, they should be ready for high taxation under double-decker parliament and many other, since the economy is in ICU. Madam Speaker, we would have expected that the process would have been more all-inclusive. But some of us are not interested in us versus them, but we leave to the conscience of Kenyans. But us will continue to oppose up to mashinani. Madam Speaker, finally, what I want to say is that Kenyans were looking upon this house. But fortunately, 12 of us have started with the truth, and we hope in the fullness of time will be vindicated, and Kenyans should always be ready for high taxation in hard economic times. So I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Matsayo Stewart Mochil.
Asante Mr. Speaker, kwanza nataka tumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa uwezo wake wa kwamba sisi kama maseneta tumeketi hapa na tumeweza kujadiliana na hatimaye kupitisha mswada huu wa BBI. Speaker, tunaangalia mbele, sasa tunaenda kwa referendum, na nina hakika na matumaini ya kwamba kazi tuliyofanya hapa imeonekana na kila mtu katika taifa la Kenya, na kwamba maseneta wanaweza kuleta majadiliano kwa hali ya ungwana, kuleta juu bila kukosana, na hatimaye kuweza kupiga kura na kupata mwelekeo. Tumewaonyesha Wakenya sasa mwelekeo wa kuenda. Sasa tuendeni mashinani ili kuona kwamba wananchi wa Kenya wamepitisha BBI. Asante sana Mr. Speaker.
Senator of Nairobi, Senator Sakaja.
Madam Speaker, very briefly, I'd like to first of all remember Senator Yusuf Haji, who spearheaded this process. He was one of our colleagues, and I'm sure that today he is looking down at us with pride, and I dedicate this vote to him. Madam Speaker, this process was long. Senator Amos Wako has been there, but it's important for us to understand as a House that our part is now done. Madam Speaker, as Senator Orengo has intimated, there has been a lot of innuendo out there. You know, the committee had a report, I had a dissent on one issue, but ultimately, we all agreed on the need to pass BBI and on the need to respect the will of the people. From here, it is going back to the people, Madam Speaker, and they will make that choice. I just pray that all of us as leaders in this country, even as we go to the people, a process and a bill that is supposed to unite our people should not be a source of division going forward. Let us watch our tone. Let us not try and divide this country again. Let us not have a me versus them. Let us go in the spirit of one Kenya. Madam Speaker, I'd also like to appeal to colleagues as we go out there. Let us remember when that time comes, because now the IBC will have to schedule a referendum at some point. Let's remember COVID is still there. Let us not endanger Kenyans. Let us not lead to another spike of infections of COVID-19, Madam Speaker, as we go to speak to Kenyans. And finally, Madam Speaker, because we are still senators, we are still members of parliament, as I finish, many people have been saying that the country's focus should not be on this. We should focus on alleviating the problems that Kenyans are going through. This is your opportunity. We're done with the bill. Let us see proposals on economic cushioning. Let us see proposals on making sure Kenyans get the vaccine and focusing on their priorities right now, as the other institutions, the IBC and the rest, focus on the remaining part of this process. For now, our work is done on that. Let us now do what we must do. I want to thank all members who have voted, and I'm glad, Madam Speaker, that finally we've entrenched the principle of equality of the vote, that my people in Nairobi will no longer be represented 500,000 people by one member of parliament. For me, that is a score, and the additional resources that will go to the counties It is truly a historic and a good day for this country. Thank you.
Senator Gona Christine Zawadi.
Mheshimiwa Spika, nataka nikubaliane ama niungane na wenzangu na hasa nikapongeze nyumba nzima ya Senate kwa kukubaliana na kupiga kura nzuri ama kura ndio. Na pia nataka niseme kwamba kila safari ya hatua 100 huanza kwa hatua moja. Kwa hivyo ni hatua tumechukua na niko na hakika hasa kwa niaba ya Kilifi kuna mengi ambayo tulikuwa hatuyapati, lakini najua kwa kupitisha haya hii BBI ambayo tumepitisha leo, najua kuna mazuri mengi ambayo yatatufuata nyumaye. Na pia vile vile nataka nitambue kwamba kuna kaunti zingine ambazo hazikupata uwakilisho ama sub county zaidi, lakini nataka niseme kila kilicho na mwanzo huwa na mwisho, na pia si kwamba tunawaonea ama hatuwapendi, ni kwamba siku haikuwa yao, lakini wakati utafika watapata. Na hata kama hawakupata sub county zingine, lakini na hakika kuna mengine ambao wameyapata mazuri kulingana na hiyo BBI. Ukiangalia vizuri utakuta hapo ndani kuna mambo mazuri mengi, na mabaya hayakoseki kwa sababu ni mwanadamu aliyetengeneza, lakini naamini tulivyoanza kwa mwendo huu, hatua tumeanza, safari tumeanza, na hakika una mwisho mwema. Asante.
Senator Lenturi, Franklin Mifika.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. I'll try to be as brief as I can. And Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the minority vote, let me say in democracy, Madam Speaker, is always that the majority will have their way, the minority will have their say. What I would want the country to learn from this vote is that, Madam Speaker, we are getting to an area whereby now the public is going to decide on whether to amend this constitution or not. The responsibility on passing it is on them. So I want to ask them to not be divided, because looking at what has happened in this Senate, we may have invalid ways of trying to express ourselves, but at the end of the day, when the vote is cast, we all come together and agree on the results. So, Madam Speaker, the only area that I feel I need to tell Kenyans, and anybody else who will be participating in an election, in this particular election, the most critical and important thing to remember is that always this country is not independent by the citizens, by the Wananchi themselves, but by the leaders. We have a responsibility to preach peace. We have a responsibility to tell people that the referendums will come and go, but the Kenyan people must always remain united. And Madam Speaker, whoever will be participating in whatever election, we must also be willing and ready to tell people that Kenyans must be willing to accept the results of any election. Otherwise, that is one of the major problems that breaks the country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Now, the names are increasing, so please stick to my 1.5 minutes discretion. Senator Inima Ketrut Musurube.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this time to give my comment. I want to say that this is a very good process for us as Kenyans. Now that we've agreed as a Senate that we get to the referendum, we should forget the past and work together and ensure that we are talking to Kenyans, because the things that have been ailing us as a country have been addressed in the Constitution. And we have to know that our Constitution is a living thing. Even after 10 years, maybe amendments will also be done to our Constitution. And our Constitution is supposed to serve people. And I'm sure the BBI is going to serve Kenyans. And we look back and say we did a good thing in passing the BBI. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Senator Milgo. Alice Chepkorir.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me also take this opportunity to actually congratulate the senators and actually tell all Kenyans that the senators today have sent a clear message that they are in support of the two principles, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the president of this country, and the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, in their vision of having a country that is living peacefully after every vote. I think we have had a challenge after every vote, and in this particular bill, this one shall go a long way to actually cure a number of issues. In addition to that one, more specifically, the amount of money that will go to the counties once this bill has passed will in this case improve the livelihoods of our people. And in this case, I think our people, the Kenyans right now, out there should be able to support this bill so that we have prosperity in this country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Kimani Wamatangi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also rise to first congratulate all members of the Senate who have made contributions to this bill, Madam Speaker, and including yourselves, Madam Speaker, in the Speaker's team for the good work that you've done in coordinating and regulating debate here, Madam Speaker. And finally to say, Madam Speaker, that it's good to exhale and go through what we've gone through, learn the lessons that we've learned. And to me, the bigger lesson is that the dynamism of the debate that we've had, the diversity of opinion, should not be a basis for us to have an enmity between us, Madam Speaker. And indeed, that now we have a clear way forward, and that clear way forward, Madam Speaker, is that this bill now is back to the owners. And the owners of this bill is the people of this country, Madam Speaker, who first through the promoters made the suggestions. And the beauty of it, in my view, Madam Speaker, is that indeed, by and large, there was something for almost everyone. Although some may not have gotten precisely what they wanted, but we would say that what is good in it outweighs any challenges that will be there, Madam Speaker. And I know, for example, Madam Speaker, like in the area where I come from, the area of Mount Kenya region, our people have been consistently for more than 30 years raising the issue of underrepresentation, Madam Speaker. And somehow this can now be addressed if and when Kenyans put their vote to this bill, Madam Speaker. We have issues, and that's how we started our one man, one vote, one shilling campaign, Madam Speaker. We believe that alongside other Kenyans who also have something to take in this bill, when the people finally decide on it, we will be better off as a country than the way we were, Madam Speaker, before we pass the bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Amos Wako.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. As a person who was the chairman of the Constitutional Committee of BBI, it's really my great pleasure that at long last Parliament has passed this bill overwhelmingly. Madam Speaker, there are 74 clauses in this bill, and therefore it will be difficult for one person to agree with all the 74 clauses. But what's important is that one agrees with the overall thrust of the clauses, of the amendments, and so on. And I think we all agree that if these amendments will carry the country forward, Madam Speaker, as we go to the referendum, I would ask the people also to look at those clauses in the bill where not much attention has been given. Much attention has been given on political issues in the bill, the structure of the executive, but there are many, many other clauses, even which deal with the economy, which are there in the bill. Madam Speaker, one particularly clause 10A, which deals with regional integration and cohesion, clause 11A, which deals with the economy and shared prosperity, clause 18A, which deals with the responsibilities of a citizen. If this bill is enacted and is endorsed by the people, I'm quite confident that it will carry and give this country the opportunity to restructure the politics, be more focused, and deal not so much to be too politicized that we forget the real issues, which are issues of economy. Madam Speaker, if that environment is created, then it will be possible to deal with the many problems
that this country is facing right now in the economic field. Therefore, it deals with governance issues which provide the enabling environment to be able to deal with the very heavy economic issues that this country is challenging. So, Madam Speaker, I recommend the people to endorse this bill overwhelmingly the way the Parliament has endorsed it overwhelmingly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Muranga. And please make sure it is 2 minutes like everybody else.
Yes, Madam Speaker, when this process started, there were areas I was very happy with it, and I'm on record of having supported those areas. One of the most important area was World Development Fund, which was my original idea. I brought it before the Senate, it was passed, it went to the National Assembly, it got stuck there. So to the extent that it was speculated into BBI, for me, I was happy, Madam Speaker. I only became a little bit cagey when I saw 3 issues. Number 1, when I saw a report detailing the cost of BBI once it is passed. There's a parliamentary report that denotes that Kenya will suffer 20 billion extra shillings per annum once BBI passes. That includes to support the so-called double-decker parliament. That includes other institutions which are being created. Number 2, I thought maybe this process would amend some of the problematic areas I found in it. Most importantly, the enhancement of presidential powers vis-a-vis judiciary, Madam Speaker. I am a victim of the so-called an overbearing executive. When I was a student leader at the University of Nairobi as the vice chair of SONU, I was suspended because of an executive that was so overbearing. So when you then provide in this bill, in BBI, a situation where the president has the unilateral power to appoint people in salaries commission, the president seems now to have a judicial service commission can just dismiss or penalize a judge. I have a problem with that. Again, Madam Speaker, there is a clause that is proposing to delete representation of teachers in salaries commission. Madam Speaker, I strongly believe teachers are so important in molding the children of this country. Without them, we could not become lawyers, doctors, professors. When you now kick them out of salaries commission, Madam Speaker, you negate the entire teaching fraternity. I'll be urging teachers, secondary school teachers, primary school teachers, to look at that clause, how it is going to affect their bargaining power, their negotiations power, particularly taking into account we have ratified international treaties that support labor. And under Article 2, Sub-Article 6 of the Constitution, those treaties are now part of Kenyan law. Finally, Madam Speaker, I think my region has not gotten sufficient constituencies. I strongly believe Muranga should have gotten the 2 extra constituencies. Nyeri did not get a single constituency. Nidi, also a place like Madam Speaker, Nyandaro did not get a single constituencies. This idea that Mount Kenya has been getting have so many constituencies.
Senator, your time is up. We were not opening debate. We want people to thank us for being good chairs. Senator Pareno.
Madam Speaker, just rise to say that I'm happy that I have participated in this making history for this country. At least we'll have left a mark, that we tried our best at this particular moment. Happy, Madam Speaker, that finally we have passed it, that we will have more women legislators, we'll have better sharing of our resources, and therefore a better shared prosperity for this country, because we'll have more resources on the ground. Happy that we have passed a bill that tries to deal with the winner takes it all issue in our elections, because we have a new structure that is coming in. And finally, Madam Speaker, that will go into a referendum more united on this one, looking at the kind